Hi, my name is Jill Connolly. I am a licensed clinical social worker with a new counseling services, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the back to school blues with remote learning. If you're in the northern New Jersey area, you're probably dealing with some sort of crazy hybrid schedule with your kids half in person, half in remote learning. Um, Maybe your kids are still fully remote, or maybe you've chosen to keep your kids fully remote. Or if you're one of the lucky ones, maybe your kids have gotten to go back to school full time. But regardless, there is a good chance that sometime this year your child will be doing remote learning. So I just wanted to give some tips and tricks to make it a more pleasant experience for you and your child. The first thing is organization. It's really hard to stay organized all the time, especially if you have more than one child and you have a million websites that you need to go to and a million materials you need. So what I suggest is making sure you have a place in your house, keep everything, have a little box for your child, have all their supplies that they might need if they're one of our younger kids that needs the crayons and the markers and all those things. Have all your passwords in one place, and have that spot set up and ready to go every morning. This way, throughout the day, you don't have to deal with your child saying, Mom, I need this, and Mom, I need that. It's all there, it's ready for them. Um, Structure is another thing. It's really easy if you don't have to get up and get dressed every morning to kind of, let the kids sleep in longer or not do breakfast right away. But you should approach it like the same thing if they had to get out the door and go to school. Even if they're going to be home, they should be getting up, getting fully dressed, taking care of all the hygiene things, and sitting down in front of that computer as if they were going to walk out the door, prepared and ready to go. Just putting them in that frame of mind of I need to get up, I need to do something, and I have to look appropriate when I do it makes it a whole more serious endeavor. So, really the structure and the organization will help it get off on the right foot. Even if you do all that, you might have challenges with your child. It's really hard, especially for younger kids and even for our older kids too, to sit in front of a computer all day. And, we hear students having meltdowns, crying, anxiety, wanting to withdraw and just shut it off and not deal with it anymore. And as a parent, you might feel a lot of pressure, like they have to get on, they have to do these things for school. And to a degree, they do. But the communication with the teacher is so important. If this is happening with your child, if they're having meltdowns, if they're really struggling emotionally, I really urge you to communicate with your child's teacher, because if they don't know what's happening at home, they can't do anything to adjust what they're doing. And what you'll find is that a lot of teachers are willing to work with you and understand that maybe your kid needs a break, maybe they need to go run around outside for a few minutes, more so than the other kids, because their social emotional well-being is one of the most important things going into this school year. And as a school employee also, I know that our teachers have kind of had this drilled into them that we got to make sure that we're taking care of kids' social emotional health. So really, when your child is kind of having a meltdown or really struggling, you as a parent, it can be frustrating. But what I urge you to do is to be empathetic, right? It's hard for them too. They want to be with their friends, they want to be back to normal. So instead of kind of yelling at them and sit down, you have to do this and stop crying, that kind of approach, be understanding and use kind of statements like, I understand if you're upset, I understand that you're worried. And so that they know that their feelings are valid and they will be more apt to share how they're feeling instead of bottling it all up and then exploding. And kind of debrief with them at the end of the day and talk about the things that were great and the things that were challenging and try to problem solve with them to see how we can make the challenging things better. And this is really hard to do if you yourself as a parent are not calm. And I know that we as parents are not calm all the time because it's really stressful. If we're trying to work from home and help our kids with remote learning, it's next to impossible. But that's where you have to go easy on yourself too, and kind of talking about that perspective of, we know our kids are safe and they're healthy and things continue to improve, and hopefully we'll be back to normal as soon as possible. But if you need to go outside and take some breaths, if you need to take a mental health day, if your child needs to take a mental health day, I kind of advocate that once in a while. My principals might not like it, but it's important because, when it gets too overwhelming, no one's productive in the end. So as a parent, you need to kind of check in with yourself and how you're feeling. If you wake up that morning already tense, you know that you're not going to have the patience that you need to deal with your child that day. So kind of just taking those deep breaths, practicing meditation, which we should do more often, but we never get the time to do. But if you take those 3 minutes in the morning and try to reset yourself and go into the day with a more positive attitude, it really could help you and your child get through the day in a more productive way. So those are just a few things to get you through your kind of remote learning struggles. But like I said, anything, communicate with the school, communicate with your teacher. And if the emotional stuff gets really, really heavy, reach out to a counselor, reach out to your school counselor, or seek the advice of a mental health professional. We at A New Counseling Services are available. Your school counselors will be ready and willing and able to help, because the most important thing this year is getting our kids back to as normal as possible, and for you as parents to get some normalcy back into your life as well. If you need any additional information or want any additional tips and tricks, you can reach us at anewcounselingservices.com. Thank you.